the cafe is open. And tonight I have my usual Thursday guest, Laura, all the way from Alabama. And to add another perspective from another angle, we have Summer, all the way live from Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Not far from Toronto.
So
Glad to have you, Summer.
Chris. Oh, we've got San Luganina. Was everybody on when I was trying to pronounce San Luganina and it came out as a song? No, you weren't there, Laura. San Luganina. San Luganina.
That sounds like what is that? See, I have no words today, y'all. You're gonna just have to overlook me. I cannot find my words.
I thought I might
the Macarena. The Macarena. That's what
I've done a lot of homework.
Girl, you know what? I was listening to HCR before we came on live. She was still going, in fact. I had to hang up from her YouTube live. I didn't know all this shit that went down as of today.
Well, my ex popped by because when he drives to his other baby mama's house with his other babies, he sort of comes past here and then comes past here to go back again. So he's got all 3 of the babies at the moment, and he was taking the 2 girl babies back to their mama. And he said, "Oh, I could drop Liam off with you for a couple of hours because Liam needs his fix of big fluffy black thing." And not you, Luna, not you, darling, that big fluffy black thing. And so he dropped him off. And I said, "Oh my God, what do you think of the news?" And he's like, "Oh, I've not seen the news today. This is like 8 o'clock at night." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought I gemmed up as much as I possibly could, a few specifics and a general overview. So I've watched the news on Channel 5, ITV, Sky, BBC and YouTube today just to get the properly British perspective.
Right.
And I think it was Gina, our lovely Gina, who messaged me. So no context, I don't believe. Gina's not here. So Guantanamera. Yeah, that's it. Guantanamera. That's where I'm getting San Luganina from.
Okay.
Yes. So I get a message from Gina and it says, "So what's the reaction? Everybody delighted or horrified?" Well, we're British, so we've all tutted quite strongly.
Okay.
Is that tut? Is that a tut? Is that a proper British tut? I got it. Summer, let's hear your tut.
I don't know. It's more like like here. It's like not a tut. It's a.
Is it?
It's a tisk. It's a tisk.
It's a tisk. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, we're definite tutters.
Okay.
And then
Southern, we're damn.
Damn. Yeah.
Damn. I like that.
DAYUM. Damn.
And so I answered her and I said, you know, we're just tutting, but I'm not hearing an awful lot of "poor Andrew, that's a shame."
Good.
In fact, I'm not hearing any
Good.
"poor Andrew, that's a shame." And then I was flicking through the thumbnails on YouTube, all the different newses, and there was one from the
on his birthday.
Associated, yes, 66th birthday.
I didn't know that part. Yes, happy birthday, Andrew.
You look like a nonce. Now you've got to answer questions and sorry, not sorry.
Right. Happy birthday, Andrew.
How many birthdays did he go not having to answer questions? That's all I have.
Yeah, right.
I have like absolutely no. You guys have to understand. I investigated sex offenders for a living, and
of course,
right.
Summer, is nonce a word that you're familiar with in Canada?
Nonce?
Nonce.
No, negative.
It's a typically British, beautiful British word, which means sex offender, basically.
Really? Never heard of it.
And I found out where it came from recently, which is so interesting. So in prisons, probably, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in the US and Canada, if you are a certain type of offender, you are put in a certain area so that you're not fodder for the rest of the prison population for whatever reason, whether it be loving, little too loving, or very, very hateful. And in the UK, to segregate these prisoners, they would have them in different cells, and on the door, they would have a sign saying, oops. Sorry, that was Lulu. Not on normal courtyard exercise. Not on normal courtyard
Wow. Okay,
exercise.
so it's an
No.
acronym.
Yeah.
So it's actually from your prison system. See, we would sometimes call them SORs, sex offender registrants. But that was from an investigator standpoint when I was in charge of all of the people in my jurisdiction on the sex offender registry once they'd been released. So we call them SORs or SORs. So
this acronym nonce has become a real British favourite for, especially for people who interfere with underage people. But all sex offenders, and it's a real slur now. So it was really shocking to me when I found out that this word came from a notice that used to be on the prisoner's door, not on normal courtyard exercise. Nonce.
You said used to be, so they don't use that, or do they not segregate them any longer?
They do. Yeah, they do. They do segregate them. But the word has become so offensive.
Oh, wow. They can't use that now. Oh, wow.
Well, because once something becomes derogatory like that, it almost goes against the offender's rights.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it would just, not that they're not a target anyway, but you don't necessarily know why somebody's in segregation.
Right.
I imagine most of them assume, and they have ways of finding out. But if you've got a big sign on the door saying
that's a clue. Yeah.
It's a clue.
It's a clue.
So what's been happening today then, folks? Any news?
Oh my God. So Trump has done all kind of crazy shit. I mean, I just found out about Summer. Did you hear any of this?
Well, you got to start before I understand. Because every day is crazy news day for me when it comes to Trump. So if it's a day that ends in Y, I believe you.
So it's apparently they had the first meeting of his little peace club thing.
The pay to play peace club.
Yeah, the $1 billion, right? Isn't it? Huh?
36 criminals. The
Heather read off a list. Who I thought she was reading who had joined this. What does he call it again? The peace what?
Peace board.
Peace board. Yeah, board of peace. Right. And she was, Italy and France, and it ended with the Vatican. I'm like, and apparently these are countries who have said we will absolutely not be joining this peace board. So I'm not sure who was there because like I said,
there's some pretty sketchy
just now
people.
heard it. But
really,
who was there? Did you hear?
You have to. I honestly can't pronounce some of the names. To be quite frank with you,
what the countries?
You would have to. Yeah, the people who are representing certain interests or countries, because it's not just Trump. It's not just countries. It's interests.
Right. Right.
They're his interests.
Of course it is.
Right.
Yes, that's what Heather said. That's exactly what she said.
So one of my things in my article that I wrote today was kind of not about that. I try not to make it all about Trump because that's exactly what I'm trying not to do. But it's about we the people. And it kind of wasn't the reason I wanted to put that out there today is A, Andrew was arrested and I had to. And B, all three of us are sitting in the same chat with a whole bunch of really cool people from all over the world. And we the people. And it doesn't matter that we have different borders, and it's us who need to support each other. Because if you like freedom democracy and you're against cruelty, then this is where we need to share that
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
spaces like this, so that we're not, having difficulty understanding how the
MJ,
president of the United States of
MJ,
America.
MJ says he fell asleep again.
Oh, he
And
should
that's
not.
exactly what I was gonna say. That's what Heather said. He fell asleep in his own Board of Peace meeting, right?
Yep, very
This
peaceful.
is
She
just
said she said, "You
very
have got to go
peaceful.
watch this." She
I
said,
mean, it couldn't be more peaceful than a little
"Right." I
nana
guess
nap.
maybe that was representative of how peaceful his board is, but she said
Chris
it was so off the wall, you've got to go watch it. She said he really just kinda came out and just free associated, and made no sense whatsoever, that
I
he's
do
just
quite enjoy a free associating Trump,
oh
but
my god,
for
yeah.
about the first sentence, I think, yes, he's absolutely losing it, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, this is elder abuse."
Yeah.
I cannot sit
I
and
always
do
get
this. He's a human being. I mean, barely, but he's a human being.
Yeah, barely. I like
I
the barely part. What Summer, you keep disappearing from my view.
Oh, yeah,
I
you moved it
There you
I have this thing with Trump where I understand what mom is saying. Like, is it elder abuse or is it an abusive elder?
right, right. Or
Right?
both.
Or both?
Or
Because
both.
senility can create the same monster, right? Like, this
Yeah,
both can be true.
absolutely. I mean, there is definitely something affecting his frontal cortex, which has just switched all his decency filters off.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he ever had any decency
Mm,
filters,
yeah.
honestly. I think Trump's always been I'm sorry, I have to move because I have to Charlotte is calling. She she wants to be sprung from jail.
Oh, bless her.
She's
Yeah,
in
no,
jail.
I think there were some quiet parts in Trump 1.0, but there just aren't any in Trump
No, ma'am.
2.0. It's all being said out loud. And
Right.
they're getting away with it.
Right. Yeah, because they got all the people in place. In Trump 1.0, they had, at least people, Adam Kinzen, no, not Adam. I'm thinking of like, what's his name? Miles, that did, he created defense.org.
Defiant.
Miles, Bryant.
Taylor? No? Is it Miles Taylor?
Well,
Miles?
I can't remember Miles' last name, but he was one of the guardrails that Trump had, but he had very many people like that. His first run, when he said, "Well, can't we just shoot him in the legs?" They were like, "No, you can't just shoot him in the legs." Talking about the people, Trump wanted to just shoot him in the legs.
Yeah, that was the migrants coming across the border, wasn't it?
I think it was protesters or something, wasn't it? Well, it
Oh.
was protesters, and he was not happy about people protesting him, and wanted to get rid of him. Can't you just shoot him in the legs or something? And they were like, "No, we can't just do that." So
But apparently now you can. You can shoot them wherever you
yes, now
like.
you can shoot them dead. Now
Yeah.
you can obviously, yeah, shoot them dead. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is he had guardrails in the form of people who, you know, had some morals and were these people were trying to maintain some semblance of justice and regulation with the Constitution. But, this go around, I guess he learned from that go around, you can't have those people. What do you do? Quit that. You can't have those people if you want to just run off the rails. And, so he stacks the SCOTUS and he puts people in the Justice Department and, in the key places in areas that could stop him or at least rein him in,
Mm.
he made sure to get people who, he could control and would go along with him. Stephen Miller,
Mhm.
my God, Stephen Miller.
He's driving this juggernaut, isn't
He
he?
really is. I think he really is. Yeah.
Well, the hateful part of it. I just want to offer just some kind of long-term hope here. And I know this is just me
We need it.
being optimistic, but I was an investigator and I always had to play the long game because if you don't play the long game, you lose.
Yeah.
That's just the way the law is. And I have watched in the US a lot of the court cases, Trump is not getting his way.
Right. Right.
And I'm talking about, like, he's not getting his way in landslide case decisions that are, and I'll tell you, these judges are writing it down, right? They're writing it down. They're making it so that the Supreme Court would have to be so blatantly corrupt, there would almost be the capacity to prove it.
Yes.
And to impeach them.
Nobody is above the law, and that is a foundational thing in democracies across the world. That is, and that is exactly what the U.S. has promoted in countries across the world who are aspiring democracies. Okay? So here's the thing, why I'm, on one hand, happy that the quiet part's being said out loud. It's sick, it's disgusting, it's awful, and God knows, I don't mean that I'm okay with people being shot dead, because if you knew me, you would know that is just not okay.
Right.
But what I am glad to see is that they are idiots. And they're useful idiots, because they're giving us all the evidence without a warrant.
Yes.
So
now, I have a question for you both.
For that penny to drop, there will be people dropping. All we got to do is make sure people go out in the U.S. and vote, and that they can vote, and that they can be safe voting, and that there isn't going to be some kind of horrifying incident where your ICE capades are going to come out and start shooting and intimidating people.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so ladies, my question, first to Summer, then to Laura. Do you think they are saying all the quiet parts out loud, or do you think there is even worse stuff that this is all a smokescreen in front of?
Nothing is a smokescreen, and everything is a smokescreen. Trump is a little bit senile and a little bit being kind, but he's also he's got immunity, he thinks, from the courts in the United States.
That was the stupidest one thing.
It is.
I mean,
he does not have immunity from The Hague, and nor do his children have immunity from any of it.
Well, this is the thing. Maybe that stupid move will be the thing that saves us, because he is fearless now.
Yeah, and it could be that we can use that to impeach these SCOTUS judges too, because that is so counter-constitutional.
Yes,
really.
and I guarantee there will be state AGs keeping score so that they can take this.
And he can't pardon anybody from state crimes, you know?
One of the things that I was concerned to see today, though, was that the state, we call them premiers here, the provincial premiers, you call them governors. But the governor races in the U.S. tend to be leaning still toward red, and that's not good.
I didn't know that.
They tend to be what, Summer?
They're still leaning towards going to Republicans.
Really?
Yeah.
So Miami, for instance. Oh no, that was mayor. That was the mayor. Never mind.
Yeah, you gotta be in charge of the state, right? If you can't be in charge of the state,
who has won? Who has won as governor? Republican lately.
I don't know that anyone has won yet. It is the races that they're in. They're showing, I think, 26.
They're polling higher.
Are polling higher. 4 are not decided, and 20 are Democrats. So you're 2 down in terms of wherever the polling is right now. And I don't know how you run those races. I don't think they're necessarily run at the same time.
No, they're not.
But worst case scenario, that's how it shakes out. We'd have to be really, really unlucky if all the states where the great orange buffoon has committed crimes or could be indicted for state crimes are those 26. We only need one.
Yeah,
we just need one state, one Letitia James.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. You know. And in terms of
I'm thinking more in terms of the people, though, ladies.
Yeah.
The people have the power, and if the people aren't going to rise, I mean, my hope kind of flickers more than I want it to.
So
right?
tell me what you think should happen at this point, Summer. What are you thinking should happen?
What should happen? What would
Yeah,
I like to see
what do the
happen?
people need to do to
I don't know how you penetrate women's groups in southern states, Laura, but I'm so glad you're on the program because you might have some insights. But I do believe that women in southern states are starting to get the picture,
Mhm.
but they don't have uh, the agency yet. They're starting to find a voice, maybe not a loud voice because they have to live under their husband's rules under this in that space.
Yeah.
But they do have a vote. And if
Right.
they can safely join groups like this, right? If they can safely join groups like this, if they can have this pretty little pin or something like that that just lets everyone know without ever letting everyone know.
Right.
This is
And
just
they do
please
go
group.
vote. They go in that booth by themselves. You know,
Exactly.
hubby can't go in the booth with them and
Well,
vote.
thank you, Laura and Summer, for seamlessly bringing me on to one of the two stateside pieces of news that I came across today in the cacophony of Andrew noise. So one was, is it Susan Collins? She was the holdout senator who is going to vote for the Save Act. But the last I heard, there still aren't enough Senate votes to avoid a filibuster.
Oh, good.
So
I
while
knew.
there are enough votes for it to pass, if it gets filibustered out, which it still can at the moment.
So where is it right now? Is it still did the House pass it? Okay, and it's going to the Senate, but it can still be filibustered, right, in the Senate?
Yeah,
Okay, that's where we're at with that.
that's exactly where we're at with that.
Okay.
And the
I'm
other
sorry,
thing is,
I'm the U.S. citizen, and I don't know. I'm asking my British mama friend.
because I'm a little bit obsessed.
Well, and I'm a little bit fed up to the point where I had to
Well,
just
this is
step
it.
the
If
hell
it's
away.
happening to you, you've got to turn it off. You've
Oh
got
my
to take a
God.
break from it.
Listening to Heather for that just what, half hour I was listening to her. I was trying to actually work at the same time, and I'd be sitting there and looking up a code or whatever, and then I'd be going, you know, "Are you fucking kidding me?" and just screaming at my phone, right? Um, but yeah, I get to a point where my serenity level has just had all of this it can enjoy, um, and I
That's
have
why we
to.
have Summer on board to bring us that peace.
And
Am I
yes,
frozen on your screen?
Hmm?
ma'am.
Am I frozen on your screen? Because my screen shows me frozen.
Oh
No, ma'am.
no, no,
No, you're
you're
not
still
frozen here.
looking for us.
Okay, well, I won't pick my nose then.
No, don't do that. We'll be able to see you.
Yeah, don't do that in secret thinking that nobody can see because we can.
What was I going to say? Oh, yes. So before I came on, I was watching. Now, if you are not a 14-year-old girl, you've probably never heard of Michaela Noguera.
Nope.
She's a makeup influencer on YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. And she just went from nothing to millions like a rocket, but she's the most
Wow.
fake, insincere, dishonest human being
Is
you
she
could
British?
ever bump into. And so I was watching another YouTuber criticizing what's Michaela done now.
Is
Because
she a
sometimes,
British
no, she's
influencer?
American. She's
Okay.
American, and she's got this awful Boston accent, which is
Oh
completely
my
fake
gosh.
because
Oh
she
my
forgets.
God.
Yeah, and she forgets that she's got this Boston accent when she's doing like ad reads and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Oh
But
Lord have
that's
mercy.
how I de-stress from all the noise of Andrew.
Is watching somebody criticize somebody that's that bad. Yeah.
Chris says I'm 15 years old. I am 15 years old. Yeah, I don't particularly watch Michaela. I have watched some of hers because I'm also a beauty therapist, so I'm very interested in makeup and cosmetics and things like that. But she's not somebody who influences me. I tend to only watch her for the "What's Michaela done now" takes on her.
I'm sorry, I'm reading
I don't know if there are any old influencers because my two favourite British ones, they're twins, men. One's skincare, one's makeup. They're awesome. They're the Welsh brothers, Robert and James.
Interesting.
And they talk about how they're getting older now in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a little chuckle.
We do have an old influencer named Mama, Mediocre Mama. Yeah, we're looking at her.
Here she is. And all she wants to influence you to do is to stay strong, stay together, keep building each other up, and fight for democracy.
And just do the right thing. Just do the damn right thing,
Exactly, exactly.
It's not that hard.
Yes, Summer, sorry.
We need to make this about right and wrong again and not about left and right.
That's exactly right. That's what my Substack says. It says, I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm, not top, I'm not bottom. I don't know, but I know this is wrong.
Exactly.
That's what I do know.
I have voted for conservative governments in Canada in my past. There isn't a chance on earth I'd be voting for Poilievre or Poilievre, however you say his name. I don't even know how you say his name. That's how it's our version of Trump.
I only became left wing in 2020.
Well, listen, there's
5 years, 6 years.
If decency is involved, you have legitimate political discord, which is actually better for all democracies.
Actually, that's what it was, Summer. I moved away from the right because the government we had, the Boris Johnson government, was such an absolute piss take. That's what I didn't approve of. Not necessarily capitalism, not necessarily conservatism.
Right.
There are arguments on both sides that I'm just not getting into because I don't have the knowledge. I know what's right, I know what's wrong, and I know that there were too many of them. Instead of having the opinion, what can I do for my constituents? It was, what can I get out of this?
What can I do for me?
Yeah. It was all about the grift.
Any timeline, and depending upon what depth of information you have in any timeline, you can show corruption and a violation of human rights and whatever you want to in any political party over the course of time in any democracy.
Of course.
Okay. You can. But there are limitations to that being true, and those limitations have been up for about the last decade for me. Right?
Yeah. Hey, Amy, welcome. So, just to direct the chat, direct people's attention to the chat, Chris is posting some great links. I think is it you, Chris, who's posting links to the Trump speech and...
Oh, good. Now, guys, these links disappear as soon as our live is over. So,
is there any way of clicking on these links?
Well, so if the post that shows that we're having a live is still there, you can go under comments there and post the links for us. That way we can all refer back to that.
Oh, that's a much better idea.
Yeah, because all those links are and you can't cut and paste from the comments either.
No, I'm all over the place with the comments. And I appreciate Judy for pointing out that there were 2 Democratic governors in
thank you, Chris,
Virginia and New Jersey. So that and the great thing about those governors is they were very different to the Mamdani mayor style. So there is room for all different kinds. Exactly. We are a big tent. Look at the 3 of us.
Doing the right thing, right? It's about doing what's right instead of what's wrong, instead of what's left or right. I couldn't tell you what's left or right anymore. I sincerely couldn't.
Yeah, right, correct.
In Canadian politics anyway, what I used to think was right wing or centrist right wing is now left wing.
Yes. Yeah. I can see that.
All right.
Well, you go back far enough, the Democratic Party were the right-wing conservatives when they started.
That's right. Yeah. Heather and Joanne had a really cool discussion about that, and talking about when Democrats were apparently really conservative. I mean, wait, I don't even know what year, but that they were talking about how it influenced the young people, and those people who lived through whatever it was. I don't know which war it was. I don't know, but um, the people that lived through that period when it came to voting Democrat after Democrats became the actual Democratic Party we know today, uh, those kids that lived through that era just said, "I just can't. I just
Mm.
cannot." It'd be like kids living through this period, and they're gonna grow up, and they'll be, "I cannot vote Republican," no
We
matter
have
what Republicans look like then later, right?
we have adults of my age who couldn't live with themselves if they voted Labour, I mean, Conservative, if they voted Conservative, even if it was in their best interest, because
Right,
they lived through the
exactly.
Margaret Thatcher government.
Right, right. That's exactly what they were saying about this. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Amy's got
hadn't.
some good points. Hello, Amy. She's also telling us how to work the computers. I'm going to completely ignore it because there was do this, then do this, then do this, and then there. And I'm like, no, because as soon as I do one
Right
click,
click on
it's
them,
all
open
going to
them in
go
a new
horribly
window.
wrong.
Well, I can't even get. I can't right click because I'm on my phone. So
Mm.
yeah.
But you'll be on your computer next time, won't you? Now we've told you what to do.
Now that you tell me, just say no.
Yeah, just say no.
Just
Hey,
say
Amy.
no.
So before we pivot for our second half, which is probably going to easily be taken up with Andrew, the other small, this is insane. I'm about to listen to the sentence I'm about to say. The other small piece of news that I've picked up from over your side of the pond, your southern neighbours, Summer, is war with Iran might be on. We might be doing that.
Okay, tell me more.
So, apparently, Trump's getting this close to going into Iran, and by going into Iran, we mean using some cool flying things to drop some more bombs on Iran. Nobody at this stage thinks he will be putting American boots on the
Got it,
ground,
Chris.
but he's already oh, thank you, Chris.
Yes.
He's already had pushback from a certain little island over on the edge of Europe, telling him, no, you aren't using any of our territories overseas to land your little planes. And no, you're not using any American air bases on UK mainland either. So if they want to invade Iran, they will be doing it
From
by
here.
themselves. Yeah,
From here.
Well, it's gonna be a little bit low on gas, don't you think?
So,
exactly.
so when Heather was telling me everything that happened, telling me, yeah, it was she was talking directly.
That's so
When
nice
Heather
of
was
her.
right, yeah, she and I had a yeah. Anyway, when she was talking about everything that happened, and I guess it was today that the South Korean uh leader was found guilty of something, I don't know, and sentenced to life in prison, as was something else. Oh god, I can't remember now. Some other leader. Um, I want to think it was Iran, because I remember her talking about Iran.
Well, we have had a problem ourselves with Iran. We've had a British couple who've just been jailed for 10 years for spying, and the way it works, they weren't even allowed to put forward a defense. They've just been found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in Iranian prison.
Oh wow, why couldn't they
And
put
so,
forward a defense?
yeah,
They
so
just weren't allowed to.
their family are making a big stink because we had a wonderful woman, Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe, who was imprisoned in Iran for spying, and Boris Johnson really screwed her over by some comments he made, and it took a long time to get her freed, and that it's just become clear, don't rely on the British government to get you out of Iran, because they're not going to. Oh, look, there we go. South Korea, Yoon Suk Yeol martial law verdict.
Right. Yes.
Rebellion. Okay. He
It's
was
like,
found guilty of treason for ordering something illegal to the military, and the military said no. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that? So apparently, Heather was saying people went to bed that night and martial law was ordered. And by the time people woke up the next morning, it was all over and nobody even knew it happened. This like coup happened through the night, in the middle of the night. Nobody even knew about it.
Well, it was nice of them to keep it quiet.
Right. Not wake anybody
Keep
up.
the noise
Right.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, ladies, what do you know? What do you want to know about our dear former Prince Andrew?
Well, just tell us what the headlines are.
Because Summer, you've got skin in this game,
right?
Yep. Of course we do. I think the world has skin in this game. I think we've kind of shown that the cabal doesn't really care about political parties, right? Doesn't really care about borders. It doesn't really care about which country we're in from.
No.
It cares about those who are corrupt for whatever reasons. And there are a lot of reasons people might be corrupted. It's about how they can protect each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's becoming so clear.
But nobody's protecting Andrew right now, are they?
Well,
not at the moment.
I mean,
Huh?
Not at the moment, but I think the royal family have offered him a degree exactly of protection ever since Virginia Giuffre, bless her little heart, popped her head up and said, bad guy.
I will say this. That's when the Queen Mum was still around, and that's her baby.
Yeah.
Beverly, those sentiments exactly. Beverly, where are you from? I'm sorry.
Why can't we in the US go after these?
Oh, she is in the US. Okay, sorry, I misread it. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm going to get comfortable and I'm going to tell you.
Well, let me get another DDP. Excuse me.
I'm going to tell you my facts, what I got. So,
lay it on us.
As I'm sure we all know, unfortunately, Andrew has not been arrested for any crimes against women or girls,
right?
Sex trafficking, anything like that. He was already being investigated by the Thames Valley Police, and that is because his home and the address that he was mostly working out of was in Windsor, which is in the county of Berkshire, which is covered by Thames Valley Police. So they are the ones conducting the investigation, and the investigation is into misconduct in public office regarding willful mishandling of classified documents. No specifics as yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that the just to add a little tiny piece to that, just before we came on, I don't know if it was MS Now or which one of them it was, or if it was Maury or Ari, but the indicator was that there's emails that show Andrew sharing information that belongs to your federal government with Epstein almost instantly, while getting it when he was in a position serving the government for that position. So he received the information in that position, and it went through him like water through a strainer, right? Like right through.
Yeah, regarding trade.
So when Andrew retired from active duty flying helicopters around, his role, which was given to him by his mum rather than the British government, was trade envoy, special trade envoy, which meant he had access to sensitive government information. Now, there have been mentions, because I've listened to an awful lot of chat today, because the story is he's been arrested and he's answering questions in police custody, but you can only say that so many times. So then every news channel has to go off and pick its tangent. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go with this?
So that's all that's happened then, apparently.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So some of them went into his role as special trade envoy. Now, there's a really good book that I thoroughly recommend. No, it's gone out of my head. I'll try and remember it. It's a book about that family. So Andrew, Sarah, Entitled. I think it's called Entitled. And it's by somebody called Andrew
Maggie.
Not the former prince.
Not the former prince. It will come to me. It's one syllable and it's either got a W or an M. Anyway, I'll find it. But it's really good. And from listening to that, I already had formed the impression and presumed it must be pretty common knowledge. It's in a flipping book that he rather abused his position on the world stage. And he had this get up, this scheme. I don't want to say scheme, that makes it sound shady, which it was, but I don't think it was initially set up under the guise of this is shady, called Pitch at the Palace. I don't know if either of you have ever heard of that, because as a Brit, I've only heard of Pitch at the Palace in the context of this is another way that Andrew abused his position.
Never heard of it.
And for Pitch at the Palace, think royal level corporate Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. I believe you have one or the other.
Do you started this, Mama, and this is really important. It's unfortunate that it isn't related to the abuse of women.
Right. Agreed.
Listen to the women. They've asked you to follow the money right from the very friggin' beginning. And I was an investigator, and I have to tell you, these men will go down like stones.
Yeah, right.
For the money.
Yeah.
And these women might actually have a little bit of life left to live in some kind of freedom.
It's ridiculous.
Without being tied up in court all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they won't be witnesses in all likelihood in the money issues. But they know if you follow the money, you're going to understand the whole picture. And they've been screaming at the top of their soapbox, God bless them, telling people to do that. And I'm sitting there going, yes, it's obviously corruption, because any investigator who's been on the job for more than a few days understands you follow the money.
I know that from watching Investigation Discovery.
Yeah. I've been screaming it. How can they say that those 3 million documents are the end of it when there are no financials in there?
Yeah. You know, I get so frustrated and so angry about all this when I start thinking about it too much, and about how this is allowed to even be going on in a country that I live in, that is supposed to be free and fair and have laws and justice. And it's like, it's so big. This thing is just so big. It's probably so much bigger than it can even fathom, honestly. And invasive in all areas of big, not only just government, but big business. And I mean, I just can't even imagine how far and deep this goes.
Let me just jump in and say hi to Karma. And the question was from Beverly, and it was about Andrew's daughters, the princesses, who are still princesses, who I think are a little bit entitled and wouldn't particularly give them the time of day. But I don't have any evidence. I just never took to them, never warmed to the young ladies. So it must be horrible. And I imagine a certain Sarah Ferguson, former princess of wherever.
Except she and Epstein were best buddies.
Yes, exactly. She must be
puckered.
Bottom clenching.
Who, Sarah Ferguson?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to everyone who's having troubles with Substack. That is really frustrating. We've had issues over the
So
time that we.
far, I mean, mine has not frozen or done anything funky, so I'm good here. I'm going in here with Charlotte because she's fussing at me.
I'm sorry, Karma. Please feel free to watch us on the video replay. We're going to go into Andrew.
If you go out and come back in, a lot of times the freeze will unfreeze and be okay. Have you tried that?
I think they're trying it multiple times, and it
right.
just keeps going. I have
Beverly,
some
are
nights.
you freezing too?
I'm good, but I have some nights when it's like that, and I just have to click back, click back, click back.
Look at that crazy dog. Give me that. Give me that.
What else do we know? So there is talk, very, very unconvincing talk, that because he was appointed by the Queen, then he's not in the same kind of position with regard to government information. But it all comes down to the fact that he did have access to government sensitive information, which he has passed on, which he knew he had no business passing on.
To Epstein.
Yeah. And others.
And others. I didn't hear. Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Charlotte says hello.
Summer, sorry.
And that's where you follow the money.
Right.
Exactly.
But you know what pisses
exactly
me
to
off?
The others.
And you had started is Andrew was he arrested? Was he actually arrested? I mean, that's what we heard here. So he was arrested for that, but not for abusing any underage girls. You know.
So I can tell you, and I'm sure Summer, it's probably similar in Canada. They need to have, and I know you Glenn's talked us through what you need to have before you go arrest somebody. They need to have reasonable grounds.
Right.
So they've got reasonable grounds on the passing documents side. Yeah. And I don't know how it works in the US and Canada, but they were saying, I remember recently, a lot of people were saying how awful it was that they went out and arrested Don Lemon and Georgia Fort the way they did, because they could have organized for them to come in and have a conversation. Now, in the UK, same, but unless you arrest them formally, you don't get the right of search. So because they arrested him, they went and arrested him, that gave them the right to search his properties. So they've searched where he was staying in Norfolk, that's Sandringham, that's privately owned by the royal family. And they've searched Royal Lodge, which is private residence, but publicly owned. That's why he had to get out of there and he could go to Sandringham. So they've both been searched. Those searches are complete as far as we know. Andrew was in custody answering questions for almost 12 hours, but he's home. And there's a great picture one of the paps got of him sort of like in the back of a car like that, leaving.
Oh, send it. If you
I'll find it. It's been all over the news here.
Okay, post it because I haven't seen it.
I will. It's lovely. He's just like a rabbit in the headlights. Like, and that's what gets me. They genuinely are shocked that they're being held accountable for this. Not because they're not guilty, not because they haven't done anything wrong, but because they genuinely didn't think the rules applied to them.
Yeah, or that somebody would. You're right. People would hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I do expect that day will come for those ICE officers.
You think that day will ever come for Trump?
Oh, no, they're not going to come for Trump. He's 80 years old. What are they going to do? Put him in a cell?
I agree. I mean, who cares? I mean,
I think Trump will die before he ever faces it.
I think so too, which is a damn shame, because I would love for him to have to sit through a trial.
They'll go after Trump's family. They'll go after his children. They'll go after everything that might have. I don't think anything's important to Trump except Trump. But on the assumption that he wasn't the sociopath or psychopath that he is, his family, I mean, they're all going to suffer.
Yeah. Well, and so many of them are involved in his. Yeah, and they should suffer.
Beverly's comment. Beverly, none of us hate you.
Who
We
says
just
we?
all would happily stand in a really long queue to give your president a slap. And obviously, I mean that metaphorically because we don't do violence.
I would
What did
take my
Beverly say?
outside of retirement for that.
Yeah. In fact, I might even be prepared to set my non-violent stance aside or just for Trump. But we don't condone violence. We are not encouraging anybody to go and slap Trump. If you want to go and slap Trump, that's up to you. I
want
couldn't
to go slap
recommend it.
Trump. I really do want to go slap him.
Yeah, me too. So
Okay.
I will see if there are any more interesting facts, and then there's a couple of vox pops I picked up on. There's a gentleman called Jonathan Dimbleby. He's part of a very famous family. There's
It is
Richard,
Beverly.
Jonathan, and David Dimbleby. Jonathan is my least favourite Dimbleby, but
Never
he's a
heard of the
buddy,
name.
close buddy of Charles. They're all in media. And yes,
Dimbleby.
so Jonathan was royal commentator, close buddy of Prince Charles, and he was asked the question, does this latest scandal bring the monarchy into disrepute? And he said, no, absolutely not. It shows that the monarchy are prepared to do the right thing. Really?
Yeah, right.
Really? Summer, how are Canadians feeling about the monarchy?
I think we have a nostalgia around the monarchy because we're buffered from the drama that you have to experience every day, right?
Yeah.
So we have a nostalgic feeling toward the monarchy. But I mean, there's different people who don't think it should have any kind of influence. I don't think it really has as much influence as much as it does provide us a bigger platform. And you can see why in Canada we might be very thankful that we do appreciate and value our origins being from your neck of the woods, because imagine living next to what we're living next to right now and not having those allies.
Living
We're
next to
kind
what
of
you're living next to.
siblings. We've got the same dad, haven't we?
I mean, I don't there's nobody in this chat whose fault this is, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody in this chat whose fault this is.
Look what we're living next to.
Absolutely.
Hey, I get it. I know.
Absolutely.
I'm ashamed. Beverly says it's so embarrassing to have this happening. And we're so damn ashamed of what's going on here.
Yeah, that's why Summer and
are.
I are here.
No.
All the other Canadians and all the other Europeans and all the others.
I mean,
all
I
over
know
the
it's not our
world.
fault, but
Because we
still.
want you to know we don't blame you.
That
Right.
idea, you will isolate yourself, Laura. You cannot isolate yourself. If you isolate yourself with someone who's behaving the way Trump is with ICE and Nome and all of there's absolutely no good actors right now. You will be at so much risk. Your country will be shut up so fast your head will spin at 10 times the rate that what they're being shut up now.
But it's
Right?
such just a human emotion that, I mean, I don't even know how to control that shame that I feel.
It's his shame, not yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true. That is
That's
true.
what you've got to say. It's his
But
shame,
he
not mine.
represents us apparently on the world stage, right?
I don't think anybody actually believes he represents anyone but himself, to be
I
quite
would hope not. I mean, what I would like to think is this will be over, and it will be it come hopefully midterms, but if not, it will be over at some point. But I just lost my train of thought. Shit, I hate when that happens.
Me too.
no shame.
Damn it.
If this Brit is representative, I have to say I lost my shit a little bit when y'all did this again. And I had to just switch off politics on November the 6th. And I couldn't.
Oh, yeah, right?
I couldn't have anything to do with it for a few months. But that's not how we feel now. We are looking in and seeing how abused you're all being.
Oh, my God.
And no decent human can blame the people for the way that they're being abused.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you can look in and you can say, well, the majority of that country must have voted for this idiot, so they deserve what they got. And maybe that's true. I don't think so there is a guy, and I don't know his name off the top of my head, who did heat map studies of the voting behavior in the swing states. And it is so fascinating. Have y'all seen that? Have you seen it? I'll see if I can find it. And he's been on, who had him, I think it was, Brian Tyler Cohen had him and interviewed him. And he brought the like images of heat maps of regular voting behavior and what these images look like. And they look like a particular pattern on a map when people are voting normally, right? Like, but he was seeing behaviors where people were like voting. Say, for instance, they'd vote Trump and then they'd vote Democrat down the rest of the line. And he said, the behavior is not normal voting. So he believes there was
Yes.
rigging of the election machines. And I do too. I cannot imagine this dude took all of these swing states. Legitimately took these swing states.
Do.
Right?
We're just too nicely behaved because when it's not that
Right.
we're too nicely behaved, we just don't want to sound like them 5 years
that's
ago.
The thing, when he was screaming that we rigged, that we stole the election from him in 2020. I wonder now, was that a setup? All that the election was stolen so that the Democrats would not scream that same thing when he actually did that.
Well, exactly, because we can't now, can we?
Right. I mean, and so my fear is, what if he does that in midterms? What if the same thing happens in midterms? You cannot tell me he would sweep the midterms, because not him, but Republicans, right?
No.
Because everybody.
It's a lot harder to fix like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to fix like that because it's not changing the one up the top. It's getting into each state.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, there's a lot of.
You could set the software to just score Republican,
Well, his cronies own Dominion voting machines now, don't they?
Is that the machines that will be used? Not
well, in some states.
Red states probably. Well, no, probably they'll try to get them in the blue states. That's where they need the votes changed. So, I mean, what the hell, really?
But this is why all you American people need to hear what we're saying. That we don't blame you. We are here for you. We are fighting with you. All of our democracy depends on this fight, and we ain't deserting you.
We the people.
We the people.
All the people. All Western democracies and a lot of other places.
Yeah.
We're not stranding you. We're not leaving you alone, guys.
And the blue ones are taking measures not to let that happen, right, Amy? Yes, thank God.
So,
thank you for saying that, because I have had this shame around.
Don't. It's his shame. It's his shame. It's not mine. It's his shame. It's not mine.
Do you want me to write that 100 times on the blackboard?
Yes, I do.
No, but when you make yourself a nice tea in the morning or whatever, and you just do a nice exercise.
That asshole shame is not my shame.
Nah, every time you breathe out, you just let that shit go.
Yeah, right. I do. I really should practice that, because I'm not even sure I realized honestly how deeply I felt that until this moment that we're talking about it.
I will do a balloon meditation because I did the Metta Bhavana meditation. I'll do another video and I'll post it, and we'll have a balloon meditation. And I think we have to start winding up, because otherwise we're going to clash with Glenn, and we don't want to do that.
Is saying she needs to write it too, so she feels that shame as well.
Of course you do. We get that, don't we, Summer?
Yeah, I understand, because you're good, kind human beings.
Yes.
But it's not yours. It's not yours in any way, shape, or form. It just is not.
Exactly. That's why we want to tell you.
I know that on an intellectual level, it's gonna take a little more to get it in to go deeper. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Beverly,
it's
we're
just it's
saying it to
so
you as well, Beverly.
right. Yes, Beverly, with you, sister. Yeah,
So I'll
I
be
feel it.
posting in the next couple of days, I'll be posting a balloon meditation where we can get rid of those things that are weighting us
Yes.
down that really don't belong to us. They're
Right. Yeah.
somebody else's circus, somebody else's
Right.
monkeys,
Yeah.
not mine.
When it gets cold again, because it was like 70 something degrees here in Alabama today. Can you believe that? But when it gets cold again, and it will in about 3 days, I'm gonna start my wood stove again, and I'm gonna write that sentence on some paper. That is his shame. It is not my shame. And I want to throw it in my wood stove and burn the shit out of that.
Amen.
We should do a live and show
Absolutely.
and do it. Let's just do
Why
it.
not?
I had about 6 feet of snow, no word of a lie, 6 feet of the snow outside right now, so if it's
You
just
do?
yeah, I'm not going outside right now.
Oh my God, really? Oh,
6
And
I
feet.
I'm
love
just stuck in the
snow.
middle where it's rainy and miserable.
Right. No, we're coming to summers. We're coming to
Yeah.
Canada. We're
We'll
gonna move to
we'll all be
Canada.
stoned as fuck by the time we get there on our marijuana mercy mission, but
Yeah.
we'll be getting there.
Yes, we will.
They probably won't let us across the border, but we're gonna try.
They probably will. They absolutely probably won't let me across the border.
I would love to put a resource center / website together with the promise and have a section for these types of meditative cathartic exercises that we
Right.
can all perform and share with each other.
Yes. Can we
Right.
do that on Discord? Is that something we can do on Discord? Is Chris still with us?
We can organize also where all of the different protests are going to be and all of the different um, important dates and different things like that, and different things that we might want to organize within ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we can use Discord as a base for doing all of those things until the promise is up and running.
Yeah, because I think Discord lets us kind of all Igor, yes, our our older woman mascot Igor Isa.
Chris, yay. Chris,
Yes, we
can
can.
you
Okay.
chuck the old the Discord link on again, and then can you, if you probably already sent it to me because that's how I probably got it, but I will post it and
He
then
did it
and then
under your conversation and in Substack under conversations.
amazing. So
Okay.
we'll try and direct people to the Discord. I think Chris,
Mm.
let me know when you're good to come on, and I was going to suggest it tonight, but
Did you
we
see
got
what Igor
Saturday.
said?
Yes, I just read that.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Tell
Okay.
us more, Igor, because I haven't
Yeah,
heard
I heard
that.
the same
Oh,
thing, Lisa.
subscriber chats. Oh, well, our subscriber chats here. We'll when
We'll
we
have to look
come
into
back,
that.
we'll
Or
discuss
you
it more.
trip their
I'm really
filters,
conscious. I don't
Igor.
want us to clash with Glenn, and people might need a pee break. They might need to go and get a cup of tea. They might just need to ground themselves. I mean, that's what Glenn does for me, basically.
Well, I mean, Igor's got a point. We could do it to subscriber chat here on Substack.
Yeah.
You know,
How do we do that?
I mean, I'll post something under my Substack and y'all can chat and we can all chat there. I mean, everybody else can too, which is fine, I guess. Mama, you just went out of focus.
Oh,
come
am I
back.
back?
Come back to us. There you are.
I thought I was drinking. I don't know.
Well, I
You
look
drinking,
right on
Summer?
mine, unless it's my eyesight.
No, you're back.
Right. So let me tie up the Andrew situation for us so we don't run into Glenn. So we know what he's been arrested for. He's been released under investigation. So that doesn't mean he's been released. Bye-bye. Thank you for
Is
your
that like a
time.
house arrest thing?
No, he's not been charged. He's
Oh.
been he's just been released under investigation. So he's still under investigation, and that could be dropped at any time without anything further happening. Just say, oh no, we've come to the end of it, blah, blah, blah. Or he could be rearrested, or he could be charged, and then it will go on to prosecution. But in the UK, you can't prosecute criminally unless it's signed off by the Crown Prosecution Service. There are one or two private criminal prosecutions that have happened over recent history, but they're extremely rare. It's not like in the US where you can kind of go indictment shopping.
Mm-hmm.
The CPS say yes or the CPS say no.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are at the moment. He's still being investigated. He's he's answered whatever he's answered, probably more likely refused to comment on any and all questions. But you know, that interview that he did suggests that he does like the sound of his own voice and he does believe his own bullshit. So, but then he's probably got a good lawyer that said, Andrew, just shut the fuck up.
Where's that interview? Do you know where I can find it?
The interview that the one that he did with Emily Maitlis, the one that basically where he said he doesn't sweat and things.
Yeah, whatever you're talking about, where he just was talking too much. Yeah, yes,
I'll
I'd
find
like
it.
to. Okay,
I'll find it and send it. It's probably on the BBC, however you access the BBC, Panorama maybe, but I'll find it and I'll post it.
Yeah.
So that's where Andrew is. He's home now, looking a little bit shaken because he really didn't think this could happen to him.
So he really is not arrested, right? I mean,
he was arrested and
but
taken
let
into
go.
custody, which gave the police the authority to search
him.
premises.
I guess we call that detained.
So the two premises have been searched. The searches are complete and he has finished his questioning. In the UK, you're only allowed to be detained for 24 hours unless you apply to a magistrate for an extension. And that hasn't been done. He was in there for under 12 hours. I think this is pretty much what we expected to happen. Nothing unusual, except the eighth in line to the throne just got arrested, which is a little bit unusual. It hasn't happened, apparently, a senior royal since Charles I.
Heather said since 16 something.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
So
now,
do you know if they found anything with the searches?
Don't know. We don't know at all. Yeah.
All
but what we do know there are 8 separate police forces, at least, across the middle of England who are investigating various aspects. Thames Valley are looking into this documents thing. There are many of these other 7 who are looking into private flights to UK airfields by a certain Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and co. So they're looking at those flights, and that will be looking at the trafficking of girls and women.
Good.
I would just like to say that they didn't find nothing. Because if they found nothing, this wouldn't have happened today.
Yeah. Oh.
Not a
no, good point.
A former prince named Andrew.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you,
the prince formerly known as Andrew. Or the Andrew formerly known as Prince. That's what.
There you go.
Yeah.
So these investigations are being conducted by the separate police forces, but they're also being overseen by the National Crime Agency and another abbreviation that I forgot, NCCP, maybe I've got noted down. And there is the Mutual Legal Assurances Agreement, which exists as a thing. It's the name of it, Mutual Legal Assurances Agreement. And that would allow the FBI to come over and listen in to any questioning that was relevant to their investigation.
God help us all if the FBI
but this thing has to be extended, this Mutual Legal Assurances Agreement. So that's how they could be involved.
Maybe.
So I've done that. They're looking into the fact that at the moment, royal persons are exempt from freedom of information requests. So we wouldn't be able to access their financials. But that's being looked at by Parliament to see what we can do about that. If it's time that was no longer a thing.
Let me ask you, do you have faith in these organizations and the bodies that are investigating this? Do you have faith in them that they're sincere about what they're doing or capable or both?
Capable, yes, very capable. I'm very May I finish by reading you some statements? You may have already seen these. Can you still see me?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So the King's statement, if you will. Now I would be showing you this, but I as I say, I still haven't got
Right.
the system figured out. So Charles says, I've learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Charles R. So by signing it Charles R, that's his personal king signature. So it's
Is Andrew his brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's written that in his position as king from him as king, not from the palace, not from the royal family. That's his personal official statement.
Okay.
And then the official statement from the Thames Valley Police was, you've probably heard this or variations of it. As part of the investigation, we have today arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office and are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. The man remains in police custody at this time. We will not be naming the arrested man as per national guidance. Please also remember that this case is now active, so care should be taken with any publication to avoid being in contempt of court. Assistant Chief Constable Oliver Wright said, following a thorough assessment, we have now opened an investigation into this allegation of misconduct in public office. It's important that we protect the integrity and objectivity of our investigation as we work with our partners to investigate this alleged offence. We understand the significant public interest in this case and will provide updates at the appropriate time.
Did everybody know who they were talking about?
Oh, God, yeah.
When they didn't name this person?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The paparazzi are terrible. And Prince Charles has been out. He was at the opening of London Fashion Week today. So that's one of his functions to try and it's good for the economy for London Fashion Week to be seen on the world stage. A better way of it being projected onto the world stage is having the king there. So he showed up and he got shouted at by the crowd and by Paps saying, what do you think of your brother's arrest, sir?
Ooh.
What's he going to say? Oh, yeah, it's great.
Well, kudos to him for going, and putting himself out there,
Yeah.
Like, at least he didn't get booed out of the stadium like J.D. Vance and his wife, but...
Yeah. And I think that's probably a good place for us to round up so people have got time to do a quick spend a penny and grab something soothing before Glenn talks us to sleep. I know. Did you like my Victoria's Secret video post by Jax? He's amazing. If you haven't seen it, check out on my thing. Victoria's Secret, or check out on YouTube, Victoria's Secret by Jax, and it's such a great song.
What did Igor say here? It's Cordeline. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
What did Igor say? The Princeless Andrew.
Yeah. So, I would really like, if nobody minds, to sign us off by spending just a few seconds thinking about an exceptionally brave woman that I would really like to pay tribute to this evening, because I think this investigation into Andrew may well be the key that unlocks the door into justice for the Epstein survivors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we'd be where we were now if it wasn't for one Virginia Roberts Giuffre.
Agreed.
I thoroughly recommend reading her book. It's just
I'm about to listen to
beautiful,
her. Mm-hmm. I've already
painful,
downloaded it. Yeah, I dread it.
heartbreaking.
Kind of. Yeah.
So yeah, if we just spend a moment thinking about Virginia and feeling gratitude towards Virginia and her bravery. So thank you, God, for putting Virginia in our lives in this strange, bizarre, crazy way. Thank you for her strength. Thank you for the beautiful people that surround her. Listening to her brother Sky and his wife Amanda, I think that was her name. You can tell the kind of person she must have been by the people who loved her so much. They feel to me like really good people, which makes me so sure that Virginia was really good people. And I'm so sorry that she can't be here with us to see that people are finally listening and she is believed. And just a huge thank you to all brave women out there. Anyone who's ever had to suffer, anyone who's had to endure, anyone who's had the strength to take action to help try and prevent other people from suffering, and everyone who hasn't had the strength but is grateful for those that have. Please, please look after all my girls and boys here on Substack. Keep us all safe. Keep us believing in that promise. And keep us coming back here. Amen.
Amen. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. We are well over the hour. Glenn is just round the corner. So I'm afraid the cafe is now closed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We do this every night. We click the button, nothing happens. Night, everyone.